Hello everybody, here I am with Damian Callais and with Vose. So I'm gonna start asking you guys some questions because people is curious, I'm curious, we wanna know a little bit
Rapid fire, baby, let's go.
Yes, let's go. So for Damian, how many startups have you done in your life?
This is my third startup, and they're quite interesting.
I bet they are. So tell me, how come doing 3 times startups in companies, how come could you be successful in each one of them?
Well, I think it's all about how you choose the right opportunity for yourself. I was very fortunate years ago to be mentored by a guy by the name of Don Duncan. Don was one of the contributors to the book The Secret. And Don taught me that there were 5 criteria that you should, as an entrepreneur, this is specifically for entrepreneurship, that you should grade the opportunities that you're going to build your business inside of. And those 5 criteria are: number 1, who's the leader? Everything rises and falls with leadership, and all the leadership as we know. Number 2 is, what is the compensation mechanism? How are they going to compensate you for building your network within the company that you're choosing? Number 3 is timing. Everything, as we know, in anything revolves around timing. Timing is everything in everything. Number 4 is, what systems, tools, what infrastructure do they have they can offer you so that you can duplicate your business throughout their organization. And then last but not least is the culture aspect. Do you have an opportunity to influence the culture? Because if you don't, chances are you probably missed the timing. So I grade the criteria of the opportunities that I get involved in on those 5 criteria, and I feel that it's really been one of the things that have helped me choose the right opportunities for myself.
You definitely seem like you have done pretty well in this area. So now for you, Andrew, tell me, what do you think is the main factor that has made you successful in network marketing? If you can name a couple factors that are the most important ones.
I think if we're just talking about somebody getting started for the first time, ignorance on fire, right? It's all out massive action. Don't have to have some master plan. You just have to have massive action. You just take it. And the great thing about this business is it's very forgiving. You can learn as you earn as you learn, however you want to say it. And I think as long as you listen to your leaders, right? Rise and falls of leadership, who you partner with, who your sponsor is, who their sponsor is, right? A lot of those factors matter. So when you're getting started, it's just very simple. You just need to follow the plan. Consistency and persistent on the simple plan. So that's what I would say. If you're how I've been successful is when I've turned it on, I've just done very simple, consistent tasks over and over again. Fast.
How about you, Damian? What do you think is the key sauce for your success in network marketing?
Massive fucking action. Period, end of story. I don't know how else to say it other than, I don't join anything, I launch things. There's a difference between joiners and launchers. Joiners never really seem to get any momentum in their business. And I've always known how to walk up to the door. Don't knock it. Kick that bitch in, smile, and introduce yourself. It's kind of the posture and the energy that you have when you started. Or you tippy-toeing up to the door going, or you're kicking that bitch in and saying, hey, let's roll.
That's awesome. Super motivating to hear people like that. So Andrew, for you, my question would be, since Damian was telling us how he does startups and steps of how being successful is, how can you tell us or recommend our audience to launch a business? How can they do it?
Well, again, I'm going to go back to the leadership, right? The leadership should be asking you, do you want to go fast or go slow, right? And based off your response, the plan is going to be accordingly. If you say slow, then that's the leaders shouldn't stop there. They should say, okay, well, give me your list of people and I'll call them for you, right? That's the build for, build through method. But the build with method is for the people that want to go fast, right? The steps are the same. Create a list of all the people you know that you call and they know you by name, right? Or they've done a deal with you. That's the great thing about real estate is they've seen your name, they've had to use your name multiple times if you've done a transaction. Now, if you've never done a transaction, then we're probably going to build for you. But if you can come up with a list, great. But let's just talk about going fast, right? Because we only go fast, and anything we do, we don't want to go slow. So we're going to create a list, and we're going to go through that list as fast as possible. We're going to, like you said, we're going to launch your business. We're going to kick the door in and announce ourselves to everybody. We're not going to, when I say this, we're not verbally vomiting on Instagram, on Facebook. We're not sending the presentation to anybody.
Picking up the phone and making the calls.
Yeah, the 1,000-pound phone. We are calling them, and this is what it kind of looks like. Hey, Damian, we're going to launch your business. I need you to create a list of 10 to 20 people that are active agents that you know. Can you do that? Great. All right. He said yes, folks.
Yes.
This is gonna be good. We're gonna have a couple bloopers here, but it's gonna be good. And then we're gonna schedule a Zoom call with you or an in-person, and we're gonna call the list with you at first, right? But if you're somebody that wants to go fast and you're coachable and teachable, then after the first couple calls, then we're gonna have you call. And the great thing about it, this is very forgiving. So if you screw it up with somebody, then guess who's probably gonna call them? Damian or I. And we're gonna say, hey, we have a mutual friend, blah, blah, blah. But the goal is just inviting them to see the opportunity, asking them, get a couple yeses. I'm not gonna go in the whole process here, I'll let Damian do that. But we're just trying to get them to say, yes, they are open-minded to something on that call, right? And then we're getting them to the information, and then we're doing third-party validation. But that's how we launch, basically fast. And I'll let Dane know.
So I have one more question for you then. You know, in every business and in network marketing, there is a lot of fear that some folks have in regards to rejection. That is a natural human fear. How do you overcome that?
How do you overcome objection?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, rejection? Well, I look at rejection as an opportunity. You know, anytime somebody gives me some type of a pushback on something, or every time somebody objects or rejects me, there's usually an opportunity there for me to take that objection, field it. I like to say field it like an infielder does. And then what I'll do is I'll affirm what their objection or rejection is. And then I'll throw it over to someone else, which we're teaching you guys how to duplicate here, by the way. And what I would do is I would throw it over to the quote-unquote expert, whoever that person is in your organization that's helping you build your business. You know, you shouldn't be handling these things by yourself first and foremost. You know, for example, if Andrew said, I'm just really happy where I'm at right now with my current brokerage. Say, you know what, Andrew, I completely understand how you feel. As a matter of fact, I felt the same way. One of the things I found with most successful people in the world, they didn't get to where they are in the level of success being open-minded, being closed-minded people. So,
Like, I'm open-minded.
Yeah, right? So you didn't get to the level of success that you're at, being a closed-minded person.
Yeah.
So I then go say, so are you open-minded to at least having a conversation with maybe myself and my partner about, what this opportunity has done for him, moving his team over here, moving his brokerage over here, and not put him on the phone with someone else. And all we do on that call is that Andrew or whoever I'm using for third-party validation will share a story. And that story is how the transition has gone for them, how it's actually been a good move for them. So a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. You field it like an infielder, you affirm it, you affirm that whatever their objection or rejection is, and you throw it over to the expert. Now, when you do that in a third-party type situation, not only are you overcoming their objections and you are handling their concerns, but you're also showing the duplication model to your current partner, whose prospect that is, that number one, they don't have to do all the question answering. Number two, that they have a lot of support. And number three, they're also going to see how you overcome those objections. And you overcome those objections through sharing stories.
Great. For you, Andrew, my last question
God, I
would
hate
be,
being this good.
for you, Andrew, my last question would be, I see in you doing some phone calls, talking to people, some people that you probably have never talked before, and some people that you knew from the past relationships. So I see and I always praise you for being super smooth on the phone, in your conversations. So Andrew, for you, my last question will be, I have seen you behind these scenes when you are making phone calls, when you're talking with people that you have prior relationship you have worked with before, and some people that you haven't met yet. And I seen you and I always praise you for how smooth you are in those phone calls. When you are doing network marketing, when you are trying to relate with others, you are super smooth, it comes so natural and easy on you. What would you say is the secret for that? Maybe other people want to duplicate that and they want to know how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because I do think that is one of my strengths, ability to pivot. But it really just comes down to listening, right? And the more you do it, repetition, right? There's only 4 major objections in every business: family, time, money. Like, there's only, I missed one, but there's really only objection. I'm like, okay. Like, so say somebody said they had to talk with their wife. Well, I'm like, great. When can I get out with your wife? Because I have all the answers. I have the research. Like, you don't need to go to Google. I have them all. Like, you don't need to go anywhere else. So how do I schedule time with him and his wife so we can get to a decision, right? If it's a, well, we don't have to worry about, okay, if it's a money thing, okay, well, what's your current brokerage at? Okay, you're on a 70-30, $20,000 cap. Great. Okay, we have a $5,000 cap option. Oh, you want to do agent attraction too? Got it. Okay, well, why don't we start you out with a 5K cap, and then when you're ready and your cap will be paid by revenue share, we'll move you over to 10K. And all of this is just repetition. It's fielding these questions over and over again and listening, right? Because like, I wasn't good at first, right? And I had to pause and think how I would answer the money thing just now, but the pause would have been a lot longer if I had never dealt with the question before. So the only way to deal with the question is get the question, right? And then just hope that you don't completely fuck it up the first time and you can learn from it. But I think I am like Eminem on the phone. I can switch it up, but it's because I've done it so much. Like everybody has the fear of rejection, but like, a no is a no right now. Timing is everything. People are gonna say no to you. People are gonna say fuck off. People are gonna say yes to you. You're gonna get more no's than yes. But the yeses you get outweigh all the fucking no's, right? Because it like boosts your confidence. So the more you go through it, you just need to boost your confidence, and that's where your third party comes in. Because the third party, right? Like when we're training people to do presentations, I'm not gonna have them do the full presentation by themselves. I'm gonna do the presentation. I'm gonna make sure they're on the calls so they can see how I deal with the presentation. And I'm gonna say, okay, do you want front or back? Do you want to talk about the comp plan, or do you want to talk about the revenue share? Like, or do you want to talk about the tools, the real estate part, or do you want to talk about the revenue share part? What do you feel more comfortable? Okay, great. I'll cover whatever you do. And we just work our way up. And then one day I'm just not even showing up to their presentation, and hopefully they don't screw it up, right? So.
And that's why I honestly think you guys are successful at what you guys do, is because you guys show it and support. You are there to help them with any questions. Like they have that support, and that's valuable. That's extremely important. And let's keep rocking it, guys. That was all for today.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake, baby.
Yay.